Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yuri, aka Russian Prototype. Today is Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. We have another exciting topic in store. We're going to talk about the most common mistakes women make in a relationship. Yesterday, we talked about the most common mistakes men make in a relationship. Today, we're flipping the script and we're going to be talking about the ladies. And why it's so exciting? Because the prototype family are the ones who provided these mistakes. I did not come up with a single one. This is not my doing. This is all you, my beloved community, Prototypes Fam. Give me that hashtag Prototypes Fam in the comments. And we're going to get cracking in just a moment. We're going to make sure we recognize people who are here with us live tonight, as always, because we must recognize people who are here tonight, the Prototype family. All the ideas for tonight's show has been provided by the Prototype fam. So give me this hashtag Prototypes Fam. And let's see who we have tonight in the house. We have Heather in the house. Hello. Thank you for hanging out and being here. Appreciate you. We have Becky in the house. So cool to see you. We have Ruby in the house. Hello. We have Jamie in the house tonight. Thank you for being here live with me. We have Felicia in the house. And Felicia, I still can send you a link if you're interested in being the live guest. So just holler in the comments if you still want to do that. Let's see. We have Zena in the house. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. We have Estrella in the house. Hello. We have some amazing people here tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Looks like we have Scarlett in the house. Hello. Thank you for joining us live. We have Elvia in the house. Hi, Elvia. I think you are watching from California, if I'm not mistaken. We have Diana in the house. Hi, Diana. Thank you for hanging out and being here with us live. Such an incredible group of people. Give me that hashtag Prototypes Fam, and we're going to get going. We also have Wolf Blue. Hello. Thank you for hanging out. Felicia, I will send you a link in a little bit. Let's go through these and you will be a finishing act. How about that? We'll go that way, that route. Okay. You're going to be finishing act because I actually didn't include the stuff that you send me in the direct message. So you're going to talk about that stuff in person. Okay. So I'm going to send it to you in a little bit and I will bring you on. Sounds good? Appreciate you as always. Let's go ahead and jump in. Mistake number one that women make in a relationship is oversharing too much information too soon. And what I would like to do, I would like to read you the actual message that I received. Most of these things came to my Instagram. And I would like to read it to you as I got it, okay? I don't have it. I don't have a second screen set up or screenshot set up, so I'm just going to read it to you from my phone directly. So the person who sent it said, I think the biggest mistake women make is oversharing too much information too soon. I think most women do this because they are eager to establish a bond and be honest. But this seems to easily overwhelm men. This one has bit me in the ass a few times. So thank you for your honesty. This is an interesting one for sure. Establish a bond quickly, and then she said it overwhelms man. So what can I say about this? There are certain situations where women will come in and they will tell you so many things in such a short period of time. And within this short period of time, it's like you feel like you know just about everything about this person, right? I think it does have some downfalls or drawbacks, rather, this strategy. It is because it doesn't, you don't necessarily allow this dating opportunity to develop sort of naturally, right? there is such a thing as too much information. All right, because some information should be reserved for a later date. Some of the information should be reserved for me to find out on my own. um, Not all the information should be, it should not be a laundry list that, in my opinion, that you provide to another person. um, the reason I think for that is because I do agree with her that it can be overwhelming for a man. It can be overwhelming because it might seem like this person has a lot of baggage, for one thing, right? um, it might seem that this person is sharing too many things too quickly, and I think it kind of puts on this unnecessary, I don't want to say pressure, but it creates this odd atmosphere, because I think at that point men will feel like they need to reciprocate and they need to provide a lot of information in return. But I think a lot of men probably not going to necessarily be comfortable with doing just that. So what else about this mistake that, you know kind of important to mention? I'm trying to think, do we have any comments from the community right now about this particular thing? Oversharing too much information too soon. Now, imagine if you're going to be on a date with someone. I'm just talking from a man's perspective, right? I imagine if I'm being on a date with another woman, and this another woman is telling me some personal things that she did in her past relationships, or this woman is telling me her very detailed breakdown of what she wants and how she want it, and that she's very particular about how she want it, right? She already has everything laid out in her mind how she wants for the future. Maybe it's a better example. So I think in this case, when you coming in and when you do these things in the beginning, the timing of it just seems odd, right? Because you are not coming into the date searching for a job. This is not a job opportunity. You're not supposed to necessarily sell, you're not supposed to sell your skill set or your detailed vision to someone, right? I think. I think it's about allowing the relationship to develop and have the opportunity to get to know another person. When so much information is being shared, it becomes very definite. It becomes more about this one person who shares this information, and that could push away a man. I can certainly see that. Um, in my instances, the example that I gave in some previous live stream is is a woman that I was on a date with. Actually, it was uh, like 3 months ago or something like that, 2.5 months ago, and she kept talking about her previous relationships. She just kept talking about it, and it's like it gets to the point was like, stop. You don't need it. You don't need to tell me that anymore. Why do you think I need to know that? I don't want to know that. I want to know more about you, not about your ex, right? If you're going to connect the dots and you're going to tell me how it changed you, what you learned from it, uh, how you adjusted your behavior, what that means for you, it's one thing. But if you're going to just going to continue to talk about your ex and how your ex was and what your ex did and blah 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 blah, okay, where are we going with that? There's no point, right? There is no point. It's like it feels as if you are sitting on a date, right? um you are sitting on a date, and then These commercials are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So it feels like you're sitting on a date and you want to say, that's it. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you have? Elvis says, I agree with the second part of mistake one. Too much information too soon. Is that what you mean by the second part? Wolf Blue, I think also the connection, if she or he feels comfortable, like some people want you to be open. What are their intentions? Yes, yes, but I think there's also a difference between their intentions and doing your dirty laundry or telling somebody your life story to someone. I think there is a distinction between the two. Estrella, you have to dose the information you provide since you are just getting to know the person and you do not know if the person you are meeting is someone who deserves your trust. Very good point. Because remember, you are not just talking about random stuff, you are talking about personal things pertaining to you. This information can be used against you, right? And don't think that people are just so kind and all people have pure intentions. They don't. They don't. Some people come from bad situations. Some people in need, they're going to exploit other individuals. So if you're going to give out the information that could be used against you, you are putting yourself at risk. And that's the real danger. It's not imaginary danger, it's a real danger. So that's yet another reason I agree with Estrella here. You got to be very cautious to begin with when you start dating. It's about getting to know what other person's intentions are and what they're about. If you're going to open up and just give them everything, danger zone, baby. Felicia, I know what I should share openly and what I keep to share on a later date. Depends on how far we get into relationship. Yes, knowing and understanding, the timing of these interactions and what should and should not be shared is critical. Becky, I think some women are too open about themselves, even if it's not related to past relationships. So they feel safe thinking it's okay and don't realize it's still oversharing. Remember, I have a video and I have a live show dedicated to scammers. Don't think that, again, people are not going to take advantage of you. You're going to open yourself up for potential wounds down the road, right? And you know what I do? So maybe this is going to be helpful. I no longer assume any intentions. I don't assume that people have good intentions or bad intentions. I'm just going to go for what you show me, right? Not what you just tell me, what you show me. So naturally, when I'm going to go to a first date, I'm going to go on the first date with the intention to get to know someone and to tell them about myself. Yes, I want to show them my personality. I want to be able to showcase who I am, not to tell them my life story. Zena, talking about past relationships, especially on the first date, is pointless. I think that, if person is asking you, so, not necessarily how many, I think it's dumb, to be honest, when people say, well, how many past relationships you had? Well, when I say dumb, I realize it matters to some people. They want to know the number, whatever. It's not the time or the place, right? If you have doubts that this person can be a good fit because of number of their relationship, maybe don't even go on the first date with them, right? Or I think it's silly, right? I think what the point should be is, again, focusing on the person. How have you evolved, or what have you learned from your past relationships, or how your past relationships shaped you? To me, that's more valuable information there, as opposed to just strictly talking about relationships in the past. Elvia said, Yuri, thinking that by sharing too much too soon is being open and honest. You saying that that's not um you saying that that's not correct, right? You said that I agree with the second part of the mistake one, thinking that by sharing too much too soon is being open and honest. Got you. Forever Surf Girl, thank you for being here and thank you for engaging. How do you show your interest without being too forward or looking like a prude? Good question. You show your interest by being too forward, by engaging in the conversation, by keeping the eye contact, by listening, by acknowledging what other person is saying, by asking meaningful questions. Did I say questions already? Uh, by by you know seek to understand what the person is about, right? um by being present. People can feel when other individuals are present in the conversation or not, right? Like a lot of times when we have in these conversations and you commenting and you putting these hashtags, you putting questions, you being present in these conversations, in these live shows, and that feels amazing. I can feel it, right? This is a real engagement. So as you being present in the live show, in the live conversation with me, are you being present with someone on a date? Are you looking on your phone? If you're looking on your phone, you're already losing. If I see you looking on the phone, look, I know there are emergencies happen, but that's not what we are discussing here, right? You're not going to have emergency every 10 minutes when you're there. So if you are cannot even put your phone away or reduce distractions for 1 hour or hour and a half that we're on a date, it's already a bad sign. It's a bad start because you should be on your best behavior on your first and second date. If you're not, that's a bad sign. Jamie said, I think a first date is a place where you don't talk about an ex, and it's not about ex, it's about the person in front of you. I agree. I think the focus is the person across from you, because that's the reason why you came on the date. You did not come to do their background check. Now, you want to get to know them. If you have doubts, I mean, like, if you have doubts about their background, I would say, do I really want to go on a date? And that's, by the way, it's not just women. For me as well, I'm not going to put myself in the position where I'm just going to go with some random chick who doesn't have anything going for her. Somebody who is not educated, somebody who is potentially toxic. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. Why? That's not what I'm after. That's not what I want. So you gotta qualify the person. It's like you qualifying for a house loan, home loan. You gotta qualify before you go on a date. Forever Surf Girl, every time I'm present and ask lots of questions, they turn around and say, I didn't know you like me like that. Whew, I what kind of man? What kind of man are you going on a date with? I mean, like, it, because I think it's give and take, right? I think it's give and take. I mean, how do you carry in conversation? How do you carry in a conversation? The thing is, like, funny enough that you mentioned it, Forever Surf Girl, because I've had people, women, telling me like, "Wow, I've never been asked so many questions." I think one of them joke like, "Oh wow, is our interview finally over?" I'm like, "Okay, so what would you prefer for us to just sit here and talk about some stupid shit that doesn't matter?" Like, okay, we can, but that's not going to help the situation. It's not going to help me to get to know you. At the bottom line, it doesn't have to be question after question after question after question. You can talk about neutral subjects. You can talk about like what kind of things she enjoys to do and talk about those things. Talk about experiences, right? What sort of experiences does she like, or in your case, does he like, or whatever. Um, you can talk about family, right? There's a lot of subjects. You can talk about food. It doesn't matter, right? So the questions, it's just the way again to establish that connection. It's just there as kind of like a way for you to get to know someone. So I guess I don't know if you feel Forever Surf Girl. The question for you: do you feel like it was overbearing number of questions, or do you feel like the the man that you are dating may be immature and just not ready to have conversation involving adult questions? Jamie, geez, I can't type. Should not. I can't type. Should not. Not. Don't. I don't know, Jamie. I don't. Sorry. I think I. You said should not. Don't. What was in regards to? I think a first date is a place you don't talk about your ex. It's not about your ex. It's about the person in front of you. I think that comment is fine. Was there something wrong with that comment? Sorry. All right. Let's go to the mistake two. I know. I know. That's what happens life. That's part of the reason why we're having a good time. You know, it's like sometimes when I see these comments and I don't know what's going on, is like, let me find the sound. Rewind. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mistake two. The most common mistake women make in a relationship: not taking accountability. That one was awesome. So let me read that one for you. When I read it, I was like, man, this is juicy. This is juicy stuff. So she said, mistake women make in relationships: not taking accountability, assuming the man is a mind reader. When he doesn't meet her standard, she berates and gets disrespectful instead of communicating. A contentious, screaming woman is the worst. Watch two family members destroy their marriages this way. The man could not tolerate the constant disrespect and lack of peace every single day. So many good things been mentioned in this statement. So let's just go one by one. So she said, assuming the man is a mind reader. Eh, we not. We not. I have no idea what you are thinking. No clue. Absolutely no clue. I mean, I would like to know, but I don't know. I really don't. And I mean, I think it's unreasonable assumption. I think it's completely unreasonable. And I truly hope that people don't think that. Okay, let's just get away from this app altogether because it's not working. I think it's unreasonable. I really hope that people don't truly think that, because that's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of crazy. A contentious, screaming woman is the worst. I don't know what could be worse. I don't know what could be worse. Because once you start going down that path, there's no way to come back from it. You cross a lot of lines when you do that. You shatter a lot of glass, so to speak, when you do that. And she said the man couldn't tolerate the constant disrespect and lack of peace every single day. And listen, we talked about that quite a bit, about the peace and about respect in the relationship. And once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, a man who knows his worth, he's not going to stick around in that relationship. And I don't care at what stage of a relationship you are in. Yes, I realize that it makes it a lot more complicated when marriage is in place and when children are involved, but still, and I think people will make sacrifices for children and for families, but this is where I think you see people end up breaking up, and ye- years after they've been together, like 18, 20 years, you see divorces, and people just don't want to be together, right? So I think, listen, I think it's the kind of a arm jerk arm, this kind of like reaction, right? It's the reaction that we as human beings have. It's a lot easier to have this arm jerk reaction and to say something offensive or to just respond based on the emotions. But it's not going to be a solution, right? The solution is always, or 99% of the time, is this arduous process that takes effort, that takes time, that's kind of like required grind, required compromise, required not so comfortable conversation, required stepping out of yourself and seeing somebody else's perspective, right? These are the couples that build something long lasting. Am I right or am I wrong? These are, it's exactly reverse of not taking accountability. It's taking accountability, your own personal accountability first, right? So if your partner is telling you something, for one thing, you take accountability as to how you talk to your partner. Let's start there. You take accountability of not assuming that, you know he should know something. Maybe he should, but even if he doesn't, how can you approach to that situation to where you come in again from a loving and nurturing place? There are ways to do that. And screaming and yelling and being combative is not one of them. It's just not. You're never going to get anywhere. I feel like I'm kind of dancing around the same point, but I really want to drive it home really, really hard, because peace and respect in relationships cannot be replaced. It cannot be replaced. There's nothing else that you can do. You can be the most beautiful woman in the world. If you argue all the time, your beauty is not going to matter. You can make a lot of money. We actually do, money wise, I mean, we don't, men don't really care about money. I mean, like, we don't really care about money that women make. We don't. So it doesn't matter how much money you make. If your attitude is bad, your money is not going to matter. You can be, you know, you could be the most kind person and the nicest person to everybody else, and everybody may love you, but if you're not kind and considerate to your man, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. All right, so let's see what we have in the comments, because I would love to see your take on it. Oh, looks like Lanishka is in the house. Hi, Lanishka. Thanks for being here. Linda is in the house. Hello, Linda. It's been too long. I'm super excited and happy to see you. So awesome to see you all tonight. All right, let's get to those comments. Sorry, I think Felicia was first. Most women don't like being wrong, period. I mean, does it matter? What is the goal here? What are we pursuing? How can we get rid of our ego? If you have big ego in a relationship, it's doomed. Because if your ego comes out before your reason, it is never going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. So what is being right is more important than seeking a compromise or seeking the truth or seeking a solution for both parties. if being right is more important, this relationship is over with. And I want to be super loud and clear about that. If being right is more important, because if being right is more important, what you're doing this, right? You're just pointing at yourself and you telling your partner that's really who matters. Won't work. Heather said, when the man asks what's wrong, saying nothing with an attitude is not going to make the problem go away. And that happens a lot. That happens so much. Because, listen, what is the reason why so many women are not willing to simply respond in a similar way? Because I think so many women expect men to be honest with them, and then when men are honest, right, men could be brutally honest, and I understand that we can hurt somebody else's feelings, but if we establish this expectation in this relationship that we both will be honest, and then you get offended by somebody's honesty, your man's honesty, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it honest, and then you can turn around and get offended and blame him for being honest. Yes, you can talk to him about the delivery of his message. Yes, you can talk to him about, listen, this is how I felt. But if you're going to say nothing instead of, okay, here's how I feel, and you're going to communicate how you feel, then you're not even giving it a chance. You're basically saying, yes, I know you are fulfilling your part, you being honest with me, but I'm not going to fulfill my part of being honest with you, because I'm not willing to step out of my comfort zone and explain to you how it made me feel. Maybe because I'm self-conscious, maybe because I don't know how to explain it, whatever it may be, but it's not good. Not good. It's not good. I'm just going to start making funny sounds. How about that? Forever Surf Girl, when telling someone of their wrongdoing, should you also tell them how to fix it? And how long do you give them to start showing signs of change? Look, this is not military, right? This is not like giving somebody an assignment. You did this wrong. How long you're gonna have? You're gonna have, 4 weeks to fix it. If you don't fix it within 4 weeks, this relationship is over. I think a better way to handle is to say, that's what's wrong. You say, this is what I notice. This is how it makes me feel. Okay. This is why it makes me feel this way. This is why it's important to me. What do you think about an alternative? And offer some alternatives, offer some solutions. It's not because you see, when you say fix it, it kind of places responsibility on one person. Because when you say, I notice this, and you ask questions, you might find out that your partner feels a certain way about something as well. Or maybe you'll find out a reason why they're doing this way, right? It should be, how can it shouldn't be tug of war, right? If you play tug of war, if you're trying to pull the rope on one side all the time, somebody's loses, right? And my thing is that I'm not suggesting that it always can be a compromise, but I don't think necessarily that it could be tug of war. I think it could be a conversation with the reason that will allow, for a sound solution. I'm curious, Jamie said, I'm curious though, what if she communicated but he never listened? How screaming is not a good solution, but I think a lot of times it comes from frustration. I think there are two sides to every story. So The thing is that if she communicated but he never listened, how was this communicated to him? Right? That's the first question. Because if it comes across in a combative ways, if it comes across as, hey, you did this, I did not like that, you need to change that. Nobody like to be told what to do. Nobody like if I'm going to come to you, Jamie, and I'm going to say, hey, Jamie, this meal that you cooked, that it was sucked, I didn't like it, I don't think you're a good cook, you need to change it. You'd be like, who who is this dude? Who are you to tell me how to cook? Right? You're going to get defensive. And I think people tend to, if people get defensive about the approach, about the message, I think people shut down right away. So they don't even get past the personal attack because they get defensive and their mind is already, okay, you're coming at me with this BS. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to comply with your request because clearly, in Russia we say Ramsipa Putala. Ramsipa Putala. It's like slang for saying like you forgot what's going on. I can't even translate it, but the idea is like, what the heck are you doing? In a way. So like, how do you communicate and how this message comes across matters. Now, if you feel like that you approached it from a standpoint, hey, you know, this is this observation, this is how I feel about it, or just ask politely, hey, is this going to be a problem? Is this going to be a problem if we're going to do it this way, or if we don't do this, right? Coming up with a question and approaching it that way. If you feel like you're constantly getting not even like if your man doesn't give you a time of the day when you bring up concerns, right? I think that's different, right? Because I think that communication must be there between the partners, right? Communication must be there. But I just don't think that you going to the next level and you start screaming is going to ever solve anything. Because as I mentioned just now, talking about the approach of the problem, if you are approaching someone in a way that makes him feel defensive, and you did that in a calm and controlled manner, imagine how they're going to feel when you're going to start screaming. Your volume is never going to determine the solution of the problem. Volume and solution never going to be in the same sentence. So your volume not equal to solution ever. We might as well just make a mathematical formula. Volume equal not solution. So look, you can take my word for it, or you can not take my word for it. I just been in a situation in a relationship where my ex got a little bit louder, or when she would get a little bit emotional, and I'm not saying I handled it perfectly back then. I didn't, but it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like we were able to figure things out. So I don't think that's the solution. I do not think that's the solution. If you just join us, we are talking about the most common mistakes women make in a relationship. Be sure to smash the like button. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Be sure to share this with someone. Do you have some women friends that could benefit from it? Share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it on your Instagram. Let's bring some more people into the conversation. Appreciate everybody's comments so far. Becky said, I'm pretty good at being direct with a man about what I want and need. I don't expect to read my mind. If he don't do anything about it, I will just get distant. And listen, the thing is, Becky, the funny thing is, this is not a bad solution, right? I'm not a psychologist. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, please. This is just my opinions. We're just talking, right? We're just chatting, chit chatting. It's Tuesday night, September 14th. We're still here. We're just chatting. What I think the valuable point that you brought up, Becky, is the fact that man, in a way, appreciate a woman who is not pushy. They appreciate a woman who can get her point across and then walk away, right? And then there are other things that could be done. Like, as you said, if he don't do anything about it, I will just get distant, right? I'm not saying that, you know, you should say like do A or I'm going to get distant. But I think that people feel the energy. People feel that when other people, you know, how can I put it? When other people don't get what they ask for, and when they don't go into the screaming mode, they go into distancing themselves mode, right? And and I think you got to be careful how you do it. I'm not suggesting just simply getting distant is always a good idea and it's going to solve it. But in a way, I think like giving them the space or stepping away and showing them that, look, I'm not going to necessarily settle for this behavior. It's important to me and I'm going to withdraw myself from this situation, right? This could be something to it, right? I'm not sure that I'm like communicating it very well because it's a very delicate thing in the relationship, but I think that like allowing the man to see that you are an independent thinker who is, going to communicate your message across, and then who is going to be willing to take your time, right? Not just continue to bombard the man with this request, but who's going to take the time to step away and allow men to make these changes, right? And kind of like hang out in the background and view things from the background. I mean, the men should take note of that, right? Men should take note of that. Should take the note of the mood, should take the note of how you behave. And I think it could be something. I think it could be something to it. Let's see. So many comments. Love it. We're just on the second one, but I got to get through this. Maybe I just need to go a little bit faster. Lanchko said, Yuri, about screaming woman. I'm sitting here wondering what the man did to set her off. Well, I think to Jamie's point, Jamie said, I'm curious though, what if she communicated, but he never listened? So in this example, per Jamie's point, he never listened. So she said, now screaming is not a good solution, but I think a lot of times it comes from frustration. So I think we're trying to justify being emotional and screaming from frustration, right? And so if you're frustrated with a man, you could become a screaming woman. But guess what? There is different ways to handle your frustration. There's different ways to handle your frustration with a man. Heather said, Jamie, good point, but sometimes she can be delusional and think it's everyone else that the problem. Becky said, if I feel like I need to scream, yell, or nag, then I will want out of a relationship. Estrella said, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. Wow. That's deep. I like that. So in a way, I resonate with that point. Are you going to choose to be a woman who builds her house or a woman who's going to tear her house down? And listen, I think that I say all these things. I imagine now that I'm mature enough that when I will get married, it's a good idea to get therapist. Not because you have problems, because maybe there could be a connection point for two people to communicate if you're not able to communicate clearly together. Everybody have different traumas. Don't forget that. We as people, as human beings, we come with different packages, with different traumas, different experiences, different disappointments, different pain, different discouragements. Everything is packaged in one. So I think that the assumption that everybody is just going to be perfect is false. But there are help out there. There's a lot of resources. There's a lot of knowledge. There are a lot of health professionals that can help you both. And it should be, as we talked about yesterday, do every day, meaning the work has to be done every day in the relationship, right? Work doesn't mean physical labor, but work, to Estrella's point, to build your own house. Takes two people to build the house, takes constant work, take constant striving to be better, to be better, best version of yourself, and put sometimes your needs to the side for the betterment of your significant other. And that's by far probably the hardest thing for a human being to do, because when you become married, it's no longer about you. You no longer priority, right? Some people will disagree, and that's fine. But the way I was raised, your children will become your priority and your family will become your priority. A lot to be said about these things. Jamie said that Heather, very true. In that situation, her responsibility would be screaming in disrespect, but yes, on your own mistakes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Jamie said, I like to say, would you rather be right or happy? Hopefully both, right, Jamie? Whoops. I think I skipped. Felicia said that, Jamie, they want both, but sometimes you can't have both. There has to be balance. You can't have cake and eat it too, they say. Unless it's Russian cake. Hey! Russian cakes. Have you had one lately? I've been talking about it too much. I try not to have any Russian cakes. Heather said, Estrella, excellent. Another one is better to live on the corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Quarrelsome wife is like somebody who is constantly nagging and arguing, I'm assuming. Not a good quality wife. Heather, I thought of that scripture too. Religious references. I love it. I love it. This is why this community is on fire, because we're bringing Bible into the conversation. Can't argue against Bible. Gody Gale, we're talking, taking out the garbage or cheating. Are we talking taking out the garbage or cheating? No, we are talking about not taking responsibility. Mistake number 2. And we just keep digging, keep going further and further into the rabbit hole, which is amazing. Which is amazing. Gorigel, by the way, thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining. I don't think I gave you a shout out yet. Let's see. You said, my husband says feelings. Men don't know how to fix your feelings. Yeah, listen, ladies, we got to talk. I feel that is the conversation you're probably not going to hear a whole lot from a man. Right? This opening. Listen, honey, I feel, right? You get my drill? For a lot of men, we couldn't afford to have feelings. I can tell you, for Russian men, for sure. I have other priorities. And that's why That's why I think it's so difficult for so many people to understand Russians, is because feelings are not the priority. I keep telling you that keeping lights in the house, having food on the table, those are priorities. Feelings aren't. And a lot of men, actually, the ones who are, you know, working man and just trying to provide for their family, they don't have time for feelings. You might not like it. We don't have the same type of biological systems. Our brains work differently. Okay. Cody Gal, I don't agree all the time, by the way. Jamie said, I would ask what it was he didn't like. Maybe he hates carrots, but my youngest son has asparagus, so I'm used to honest food reviews. Well, I've been just I kind of been funny when I was saying that, but um I think that if I'm sitting there eating your food and I'm just like criticizing you, I don't know. I, I can see it being a situation where you and I like doing some kind of like cooking challenge and we have judges, or maybe you cooking for me and I'm the judge and you like competing against somebody, or you trying to make a perfect dish. There's could be that, but if you're just cooking for a family, I better shut up and eat it and smile. Plus, I think your food is delicious anyway, Jamie. I don't even think that would be a problem. I just think it's. I think for man, we need to pick the time and the place and how we provide that feedback also. Because if you are a wife or a girlfriend and you dedicating your time and effort to cook for your man, and you hear, I don't care if it's honest feedback. I don't care if your carrots are shit. Okay. But if I'm telling you all the time your carrots are shit and you cooking for me, then I am the problem in this equation. Okay? Because I can also say, hey, baby, like in my mind, I might not even say it, but like maybe 3 times you did something wrong with carrots. Okay, let's look up how to cook them. The smart way to be like, hey, I found a new recipe for carrots. You want to try it? I'm so excited. Let's try that. Let's cook it together. Whatever, right? Takes work. Better way than 3 or 4 times to tell your woman she's not good enough. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me, please, prototypes, tell me if your man that you cook for will tell you continuously, right? Continuously that your food is not good. Is it going to make you feel not good enough? Are you going to be able to separate this feedback just from cooking food and your own accomplishments, or are you going to combine them? That's what I would like to know. Will you be able to separate that negative feedback regarding not so good food as you not being good at something, you being a failure, or you're going to be able to completely keep it separate? That's what I would like to know. How do we call in? Do you mean you want to be a guest on the show, like live? Is that what you're asking, Gori Gal? Let me know in the comment. You can, if that's what you're asking, you can send me message on Instagram, direct message on my Instagram at Russian Prototype, and I will be bringing on Felicia later on, so you can be a guest as well. So shoot me a message on Instagram at Russian Prototype if you would like to be a guest. Okay. Felicia said, "Where them other likes at? Stop ghost watching." Hold on, how many likes we got? How many likes? We have 14 people watching right now. How many likes we got? Y'all better stop playing with me. You better stop playing with me. 10 likes? 14 people watching. I'm bringing the glasses on. Appreciate Felicia. I'm bringing the glasses and the mask because this is getting ridiculous. Things getting out of hand. This is a ghost watching mode. I didn't bring it back in a while, which means that we have a lot of ghost watchers up in the house, which means that you are just a person who's just sitting in the background, lurking, maybe somewhere in the kitchen or in the bedroom, just like listening all the good points, listening all the knowledge. Guess what? Smash the like button. It looks like this. It looks like a hand with a thumb up. Smash it. Don't be a ghost watcher. Because what you're doing right now, you're just being a little ghost watcher in the background. You're not that. You're better than a ghost watcher. You're not a ghost watcher. I don't believe that you're a ghost watcher. I believe that you can smash a like button. Some of you watching it on TV? Is that what it is? Some of you watching it on TV? Do you have a like button over there? Do you know what like button looks like? Goodness, I have a lot of comments to go through. I don't have time for ghost watchers. If you are here, at least give me thumbs down. Do something. If you don't like it, give me thumbs down. Don't just watch without doing anything. Are you sleeping? Are three of you just sleeping, snoring, sneezing? What's going on? Whatever. Couple of you who are watching are ghost watchers. You know who you are. You ghost watcher. It's okay. It's all good. We have some ghost prototypes. Linda said, most common mistake, being too salacious, being too nice. It's not a problem for Russians, I'll tell you that much. I think we have it the other way. We have a bad rep. Gorigal said, I get very emotional when I drop my taco ingredients. No, when I drop my taco ingredients. No lie, I ask my husband. He cleans it up for me because he knows I'm hungry. Same with him and his pork chops. He dropped one and about to lost it. I would be mad too. I don't like to drop any food, but especially like anything that, like what you're describing, those type of ingredients, you can't really wash it very well. It's not like you're going to wash guac or cheese or tomatoes or onions. That goes in the garbage. No, it's all good. People need to be held accountable. If you're a ghost watcher, you're a ghost watcher. If you haven't smashed the like button or dislike button, by the way, it's not about like button. If you dislike it, I don't know why you're here, but at least smash the dislike button. But if you're not doing anything, you're just a ghost watcher. You're watching the content, you're consuming the content, but you're not really engaging with the content. You're not doing anything. It's not a good way to go. Not very good way to live your life. watch 2 or 3 people just leaving the live stream. Oh, I'm done with you. Yeah, that's all good. Felicia and Heather, you both can be my moderators. In all honesty, I mean, once the community, if the community continues to grow, we'll get to that point. There's going to be a need for moderators. Let's see. Lanishka said, Yuri, I would talk to my husband like I'm having a problem with this guy. And we talked about this guy, both knowing it was about him. Sometimes he would even laugh and say, he sounds like a real jerk. I mean, look, if you both can have open conversations about other people and you both can be engaged in conversation. From your comment, it sounds like you both were engaged in a conversation. I think a lot of times it's like when we communicate with our significant others, it's kind of like other person is not listening. Have you had those type of situations where you're sharing something to your significant other, but he's like, maybe he hearing or half hearing you, like in goes out in one ear, comes out in another, is like not really present, not really like acknowledging it, not really carrying conversation, asking follow-up questions, nothing, right? So if you're able to carry those conversations, I think it's a positive. Not because you talk badly about the guy, because you actually can listen one another. Lanchka, taking in third person, uh, talking in third person worked great. Sometimes he would come up and ask what that guy has been up to lately. Good. Is that so? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Hold on. So you were saying, so I think I misunderstood your point. I think you were saying I'm having a problem with this guy, meaning this guy is the husband. Is that what you're saying? I think it went over my head. I think that's so you saying I would talk to my husband like I'm having a problem with this guy. This guy is your husband, and we talk about this guy, but both knowing okay, it was about him. So I misunderstood that. I thought it was some other guy. So my fault. Sometimes he would even laugh and say he sounds like a real jerk. So is this a humorous conversation, or is this a real conversation, like real serious conversation that you have, and you are just addressing it in the third person? And if it's a serious conversation, Lana, do you feel like it's actually working for real? Is it actually effective? That's what I want to know. Becky said, I know men can't fix my feelings. All I need and want is from them to let me work through it without feeling alone. Good point. What would you need? So when you say all I need and want is for them to let me work through it without feeling alone. When you say let me work through it, can you give me some examples? I understand without feeling alone, you want him to be by your side, but when you say let me work through it, what does it mean exactly, Becky? Give me some examples. What would that mean? Gori Gale, so real question, Yuri, why do men want relationships if they don't think feelings are a priority? Not being rude, but I've asked my husband and seem a difficult thing for men to content with. Because Gori Gale, I'm telling you, feelings is never priority for a man. It's a biological thing. We were responsible for survival of our species. Okay? We're responsible for feeding our tribes. We were responsible for building the shelter. We can't give a damn about feelings. Feelings have nothing to do with survival. And we still largely think that way. We're supposed to be providers. We're supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to be the ones that are going to be protectors. When somebody's going to come in your house and try to harm you, the feeling's not going to mean nothing, right? So I know I'm making extreme examples, but this is the how a lot of men operate. And I think it's very difficult for women to understand. When we are out with our boys, we don't talk about our feelings. We might vent about what happened. Oh, that girl over there, we were talking, and the freaking girl just freaking put me in the friend zone. Man, we do that, but we don't sit there and talk for, a long period of time how we feel about it. We just say it and move on. I guess it's time I'm going to talk to somebody else. We're solution driven. We're looking for solutions. Feelings just don't, feelings don't lead to solutions. I hope I answered it. What was you laughing about? Was it something I said? Was it something I said? Goodness gracious, we're still in lesson 2. So many things. Felicia, I know Jamie food is a bomb. I lick my damn phone every time. You lick your phone? Ooh. Every time she posts a new pic. Don't lick your phone. But yes, Jamie's food is good. Heather, Gordy, I would imagine they get other benefits from it, or feelings is just not the top priority. Scarlett said he would be cooking for himself at that point. Yeah. See, there are different solutions. There are different solutions. Strong ballerina Jamie, I spy delicious pumpkin dessert with a mountain of whipped cream the best way. Don't get me started on food again. Maybe I'll make tomorrow. I have another subject, but Thursday, how about we're going to eat some more Russian food on Thursday? If you would like to see more Russian food on Thursday, give me hashtag in a comment, hashtag Russian food. It's 13 people watching. Let's see if we can get 10 votes. Hashtag Russian food. If you want to see me eating and talking about Russian food on Thursday. Hashtag Russian food. Put it in. And I might surprise you. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to eat. I might just surprise you. Man, so many comments. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to have to skip some. So sorry. Lanichka, if he says my food is not good, I would just smile and say, careful. Careful. I might forget how to cook. Hey, honey, I don't remember how to make this anymore. Sorry. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Scarlett, you talking to me, making my daughters a blanket while listening. You be aggravated. I like being a ghost. You're not a ghost, Scarlett. You're a real person. Reach to your device with your fingertip and press the button. Press the button like this. Becky, the food question. I ask man what they think about my cooking, especially if I'm cooking cultural dishes. They can be honest without being mean. Biggest criticism, I don't use enough salt. I like that what you said. They can be honest without being mean. 100%. Honesty doesn't mean nastiness. If I'm watching on TV, no way to comment or smash buttons. So are you watching on TV or are you watching on laptop? Because you're commenting now. Linda, what's going on? Are you watching on TV? Are you watching on a device? Are you watching on both? Jamie, Lanichko, oh my God, you ladies are on the roll tonight. Yes, yes, they are. Strong ballerina. Yuri, be careful. Don't provoke the ghost. So many of you don't know that a strong ballerina made a video and she sent me a video, a ghost related video, and that was priceless. I wish I could have your permission to share it with the prototype family, because that was a very artistic and kind of like scary video, to be honest with you, strong ballerina. I had to look around, make sure, that I didn't, because you were whispering in the video, and I'm like, is this the video or is it somebody in my house? You almost got me, strong ballerina. Lanichka, Yuri, we need to talk. I'm typing answers to your questions. You are just going to have to wait till I get a minute. Then I'll smash the like button. That's fine. That's fine. No problem. Yuri, sorry I ghosted you for a while. Okay, so here we go. Now we're revealing who the real ghost watchers are. It's okay. I appreciate you coming forward. I appreciate you coming forward. It's all good. And it's all in the name of fun. I don't really we're just having fun over here. It's all good. Yes. So Lanishka, the guy you were talking about was my husband. So it's interesting how you did it in the third person. The question becomes, the question that I was asking Were you able to have serious conversations? Did you feel like that was more effective handling it that way as opposed to talking to him in first person, right? So that's what I want to know. Was there a real difference, a noticeable difference in addressing him in the third person as opposed to talking to him normally? That's what I want to know. Becky said, I lost my temper about food once. He came home late and said he didn't care because his friends told him he needs to be a man and come when he wants. I said, okay, and threw the food out of the window. What? Okay, well, that is a complicated one. But you did what you did. You know, it sounds like it was a situation. But thank you for sharing. Gorigel, if your husband acts up, rewatch 50 Shades and break out the writing crap. Scarlett, Gorigel, have you ever read the books? Drink for each time she says someone turns a delicious shade of pink. I don't know these references. I didn't even see the movie nor read a book, but I've heard of the movie. I've heard of the books. Linda said, another most common mistake women make, not having a life outside of a relationship, friends, hobbies. Ooh, this could be another great one. I think we're going to be here for a while. We're already, listen, I still have, how many more? Oh my gosh, I have 6. We got to get going, yo. We got to keep moving. I can't get enough of your comments. I'm a chatty. What is this? What is this saying? American saying? Chatty what? Chatty Molly? No, that's not it. Anyway, Chatty Patty. What's up, Kaya? Kaya's in the house. New Zealand, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. We are just going through the most common mistakes women make in a relationship. We just got through mistake 2, not taking accountability. And God or God, we've been at it for a while because these comments are just getting better with time, like a real wine. And here we go. Let's move to the mistake number 3. We got to get to that point, right? Mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is not trusting the partner 100%. Let me read this to you as it was sent out to me because I like to give it to you straight. I like to give it to you how it's been communicated to me. I'm going to have to find it and see who actually sent it. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Oh, I think that's it. I think that's all that she said. A common mistake that I've made in the relationship is not trusting the partner 100%. This one is a big one, all right? The reason why this is big is because my perception of it, because we bring something from the past in the relationship, not intentionally. We all humans. We can't just erase our memories. We can't erase how we felt from a previous relationship. Some of the pain, some of the hurt, it's still there. We can't just get rid of it and erase it like this. And some of that is a protective mechanism. Some of that's supposed to help us not to get hurt again, not to go through trauma again, to have the shield for ourselves, so to speak, in our next relationship. And all of this is good and well. But if we not able to open up, for lack of the better word, if we're not able to find the way to trust our partner, then yeah, I can only go like this. Then the question becomes, how can it happen? Because the trust, I know people say trust is not given, trust is earned, which is fine. You know, I don't disagree that you have to earn your trust, But a lot of other people think that they will have your trust until you abuse it. So which school of thought are you going to implement here in your particular relationship? And do you think that not trusting your partner is going to help your relationship, or do you think it's going to diminish your relationship? Because trust can come in different forms as well. Trusting your partner with small things could be first step. Trusting your partner doesn't mean that you need to give him key to your apartment, right? Or, add him to your bank account. Trust comes in different levels. If you don't see yourself giving a little bit of trust to this person, then the question becomes yet again, is this a suitable person for a long-term relationship, for building something down the line? And if the question is yes, do you see this person as someone who could be a long-term partner to you, then I think you would have to relinquish at least a little bit of trust. You're going to have to find a way to trust that person. That's my take on it. That is what I think. Let's see what people are saying. Kaya is with super sticker again. Thank you so much. You've been supporting me so much. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. New Zealand in the house. This means surreal. This feels surreal. Thank you so much. And you're leaving? Hopefully you can come back and hang out with us. I appreciate you very, very much, Kaya. Lanishka said, Yuri, yes, talking to him in third person was the only way. I think we already seen that. Jamie Heather, I just sent you something about when a man says he doesn't care about what you cook him. Okay. Hold on. Goldie Gal said you have to earn trust. So again, I think that that's definitely going to be a school of thought to where you're going to have to, the other person, in this case, man, going to have to earn the trust. But then don't be surprised if your man will tell you the same thing. You can't have it both ways. You can't expect your man to earn your trust, and you can't and at the same time expect for a man to trust you. All right? So if you want him to earn your trust, then you need to earn his trust. Let's keep it 100 here. Linda said, other common mistake women make, letting their appearance go to hell. Clothes, hair, weight. But let's not forget that can happen because man is being all around asshole and she's trying to turn him off. This could be a subject. I'll screenshot because I'm not even going to, Linda, I can't even take this right now because this is going to be 1 hour discussion. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just going to screenshot it. And I'm going to see if this can be a subject of the next live. Maybe not very next live, but one of the lives in the future. Appreciate that. That's powerful. It's a lot. There's a lot in this statement, Linda. Estrella said, men really get mad when you don't trust them. Jamie said, you have my trust unless you do something to change that. When it changes, then it changes everything. And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. There are so many different schools of thought because Gori Gale said just a moment ago, you have to earn trust. Jamie said, you have my trust unless you do something to change that, then it changes everything. So here you have it. These things are real. That's what makes things different in every relationship. That's what makes us That what how can I word it? These differences in approaches should make us strive to understand our partner, person who's in front of us, that man, that woman, that becomes the goal of ours. It becomes the objective to understand who we have in the relationship, what that person, how this person operates, what this person believes. Gorigel, I don't want to be trusted 100%. I want to earn it. We are all landmines of experience, and people don't know where the bomb is. So be careful where you step until you know the map of something. Linda said a woman will trust her partner only if she senses his open honesty with her. Honesty is not a one-way street. Heather with $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you immensely. I appreciate your support. Appreciate your feedback constantly. And for you being part of this community, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means so much. Thank you, Heather. Cody Gale said, I'm weird, but don't mind possessive man. Interesting. Becky said, I tend to trust until they give me reason not to. Awesome stuff, yo. Awesome stuff. I love the feedback. This is awesome. Keep it coming, yo. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Let us move. If you are ready to talk about number 3, give me hashtag let's go. Give me a hashtag let's go. I want to make sure everybody's still awake. This is now almost 10:30. I want to make sure that the Prototypes fam is still awake. We're still engaged. We're still ready to do this together. Give me the hashtag let's go. Heather, the fact that you support me means the world. I do not care if it's $1 or $5 or $20. It's just the amount. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. So I appreciate you very, very much. The fact that you even saying that says a lot about you. But any amount is not really about the amount. It's about the support. So thank you. Looks like we have some let's go. We have some let's go hashtags. I think 5 or 6 of you are still awake. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. Let's see real quick. Linda said, what I can't stand is when man allows me to feel trusted by him, and when I accidentally break his mini blind, he has a fit. Landmine. This is so interesting, yo. And sometimes, like, it's hard to comment on some of these things because these things are just personal experiences, and I love to see your personal experiences. I appreciate you sharing it. Jamie, teachers spend way too much of their own cash for the classrooms. I will send you a donation this weekend to your class fund. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much, Jamie. All right. We had some let's go. So let's go to the next one. Mistake number 4. No longer. Let's rewind it. I got to enunciate correctly. Mistake number 4, no longer going on dates. Look, this is a big one. This is a big one. Let me read it as it was sent to me. All right. Um, let me. Okay. After being together for a while, no longer going on dates with your man or initiating sexy time. That could have been 2 parts to this. No longer going on dates or initiating sexy time. And you know what? I'm going to differentiate them too. Because I think initiating sexy time is easy for men. That's like the easiest thing to do. You're sitting on the couch, you see your woman walking by, you just like throwing a grape at her or something. Like, hey, sugar, looking good. Come here. That sounds weird, right? If that doesn't work, you just go in while she's cooking and, do your thing, whatever. These are details. It's easy. That's the point. Going on dates, on the other hand, is not that easy. Why? Well, you have to get dressed. You have to drive somewhere. You have to actually potentially make reservation at a restaurant. It actually requires a little bit of work. It requires a little bit creativity. It requires a little bit thinking behind it, right? So I would argue that no longer going on dates is more challenging, or challenging isn't the right word. It's just a little bit more demanding. But I actually agree with the fact that when you together, especially when you together after a while, you better off to you're better off to go on dates, because that's how you can keep things alive. That's how you can keep things alive. All right. Let me do something really quickly. Give me just a moment. Let me know if you can still hear me. I hope I didn't just disappear on you. This is how you're going to keep relationship alive, because remember, when you were starting dating, what were you doing? You were doing things together. You were experiencing things together. And that made things interesting. This is not for the sake of just going and fill your belly. You can eat anywhere and anything. That's not the point. Experience is the point. Because when you going to go out to eat, you might have an interesting conversation in the car. You may end up telling jokes at the restaurant. You may run into some funny looking people at the restaurant. You may end up learning something from a waitress of the restaurant. You may try new food that you've never tried before. On the way back, you might get a flat tire, and you're going to try to figure out what in the world we're going to do. These are experiences. This is not just eating. These are experiences. Experiences that make life interesting. Just an opinion. Just an opinion. Felicia, by the way, I'm sending you a link, but I will give you a heads up. I think need a little bit more time, because I still have a couple more points to go through, but definitely would love to see you as a live guest. Okay, perfect. You said we can hear you. So, eating isn't the point. The point is experience, because you never know what's going to happen. And even if you anticipate that you're going to have some breadsticks, what if they're going to run out of breadsticks? You're going to have to order some weird stuff you never had. And it's like, oh, that tastes kind of cool. I've never tasted that. No longer going on dates. You start having, it's like Would you agree with me that not having experiences and just staying in a house, it start feeling like a cabin fever? If you start feeling like a cabin fever type of situation where you just staying in all the time, and or it's not even about the place, it's the same experience over and over again, right? It's like a groundhog day movie, is where you're going through same experience over and over again. Is it fair to assume that if you're in a situation like that, you might start just kind of resenting your significant other a little bit because like he or she is part of this equation? You're just part of this never ending cabin fever that I'm experiencing. Man, I'm sick and tired of seeing you. Can we go somewhere else? Can we do something else? Can we experience something else? Can we take yoga together? Can we go take salsa class together? Is there something we can do besides just coming in, eating here, and then having sex on this couch all the time and watch this stupid TV? Is there something else to this life? Yeah, there's something else. Go on a date. Go to a different restaurant. Go and do bungee jumping. Actually, I wouldn't recommend that. Don't do that. X this out. Never do bungee jumping. That's dangerous. I don't want to lose any of you. Go look at animals in the zoo. Go to the beach. Have picnic in the beach with some Russian books. Learn some Russian words. Life is what you make it. Let me see. Let me see what we have. Let me see what we have. Let me see what we have. Lanchka said, Yuri, no, that doesn't sound weird. Toast a grape. Hey, sweetheart. That was cute. Yeah, hey. Anything to spice things up. Maybe it's not a grape. Like if grape is a good thing. In fact, tell her, hey honey, can you catch the grape? Can you catch the grape? Just don't toast the chicken leg. Ow, ow, ow. That would be bad. That would be bad. All right, let's keep down. Appreciate all of you commenting. That's really good. Oh, I like that suggestion. Gori gal. Conserve water, shower together. That's a wonderful suggestion. Wonderful suggestion. Why, why spending more money on the water bill? What's the point of that? I'm going to be good and keep my thoughts PG. I know I'm got it right. Oh, it's good. This is good. Jamie said, no money, go on a picnic for a date or bike ride date. That's the thing. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be expensive. Experiences does not equate expenses. Ooh, kind of like that. Experiences do not equate to expenses. These are two separate things. You can have a great experience, to Jamie's point, go on a picnic and have a great time, have a ball. Linda said, write about women no longer initiating sexy time. That's something that really makes men feel unwanted. Even if she is always ready, willing, able, when he initiates, he wants to enjoy feelings pursued. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's a great idea. In fact, give me favorite prototypes and spread that message to all the women around the world. The world is going to be a better place for it. All jokes aside, if you like your man, if you with your man, you know, you can initiate sometimes. Men want to feel wanted also. We do. We do. Felicia, let's play sports because yeah, girl has all the sports equipment in the trunk of her car. Yeah, sports are perfect. Throw some frisbee, throw football, play some tennis. I'm now like walking by the lake with the little tennis ball because I'm just bouncing it off the ground. It it it's an extra, like it's a little, not necessarily arm workout, but it's like helps me to kind of like pay attention to the little object, you know? And also I have to sometimes, like when I don't have the bounce that I anticipate, I have to hustle to catch the ball. So it's a little bit more steps, a little bit more exercise. So there's different ways to do this. Uh, Linda, whenever you go on a date, don't go to Walmart, Costco. That's a few steps up from doing number two when the other is in the shower. Oh God, that's great. This is great, Linda. Oh, this is so good. Strong ballerina Yuri. It's not really about conserving water. It's about creating more moisture. Uh, oh, I think I understood. I think I understood. I don't disagree, strong ballerina. Becky, date nights are important. It makes me feel appreciated and gets me in the mood. If money is tight, I don't care if we do something cheap or free. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. And I think a lot of women will resonate with that. If your man does not initiate dates, you can be the one to initiate these dates. You can kind of nudge. You can nudge your man to do it. You can be the one to even step out and plan one or two of these dates. And then hopefully he will come along. Hopefully he will get the message. Uh, you know, like have fun on these dates. Don't go out. Like one thing that I don't want women to do is go out on these dates and make your man feel guilty afterwards or holding grudges like, well, listen, I told you. Didn't I tell you it was going to be a great date? Didn't I tell you? Well, you didn't want to go. We had a great time. Or remember that one time we went on that date that I planned and you were just sitting your ass on the couch? No, don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to go on a date with him, go on a date with him and create a good experience. If you create good, memorable experience, I mean, your man is probably going to be more open and willing to start planning some of the dates in the future. If you're going to give a guilt trip, the fact that he doesn't do anything or he doesn't remember or he doesn't want to do that, again, not the best thing. People are going to get defensive. It's not going to get very far. Do it for the right reasons. Yeah, there's a lot of chatter going on. Throat goat. I'm not sure what that is. Describe greatest greatest of all time. Um, is that pertaining to? I don't even want to ask Felicia that. You'll come on camera. You can explain it, I suppose. But I think Jamie can't even breathe. She's laughing so hard right now. Becky said, initiating sexy time is very important. I like to surprise a man with lingerie, etc. They won't give to wonder. They won't have to wonder if they're wanted. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. If um, if a woman is going to do that, if a woman's going to put some sexy lingerie, um, it's on. It's on like a Donkey Kong. You're gonna go there. You know, you deserve something in return. Let me put it that way. You deserve something in return. Something good. Something real good. Oh, this is so good. All right, let's go to the next one. Great comments. Great comments. I like it. I like it. Like it. Like it. Like it. Like it. Like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like it. Remember Dumb and Dumber? I like you. I like you a lot. Mistake number 5. Rushing into things. Let's read it just the way it was sent. Just the way it was sent. Rushing into things before they truly know their man. It happens. It happens with women all over the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. If woman likes a man, she would want to secure a man. And she would do things maybe out of her character to be able to secure that man. And that means maybe, you know, being intimate with man too fast, um, allowing man into her life in some other ways. Some women even financially help man, jumping into a relationship. Some people get married within a couple weeks or a month of knowing each other. It just seems too fast, right? Doing things a little too fast. And I mean, what is the optimal amount of time you should know someone? Is this an objective thing or is it a subjective thing? What would be qualified? What would qualify for this statement, rushing into things? Are we talking how are you going to define it, right? This is the question. I think everybody's going to define it differently. For me personally, so I'm going to give you men's perspective, and then of course I want to see your comments. For me, if I don't have a decent idea about who the other person is and what I mean, I need to have some sort of basic understanding of who she is. You know, what's her personality is like, what she has in her mind in terms of, you know, what she her life, what's her life consist of. I mean, not just her mind, like what's her life is currently, what does she do for a living, what's her bad habits, you know, is she suitable for dating, right? um can I be, at least can I reasonably believe that she could be a decent partner, right? um is there anything else, that I need to know about her, or I know about her, that would really make me feel unsure about pursuing this relationship? So this is just few examples, right? That's me. I'm not saying that everybody going to feel the same way, but you have to qualify it somehow. You have to predetermine that somehow, what that means for you rushing into things. Is there some sort of time frame that you're going to put in on every relationship, right? Is there like a set of things that you're going to have to achieve in order for you to move to the next level, to be safe, right? So let's see some comments. What are your thoughts on this? Confessions of a video vixen in the book she wrote. I wrote a paper in it, high school, and almost got suspended. I read that book like 50 times. Let's see. Lanchko said, rushing into things. I've done that. I make the mistake of assuming the best in someone, then find out I'm wrong. Yeah, I think we've been there. I think I can relate to that as well. So this is not easy. This is a difficult thing to go through. And it's painful. It's painful for sure. Not sure what this conversation is about. Strong Ballerina said some people get married after 3 to 6 months and they stay married until death. Some wait 1 to 3, 4, 5 years and divorced within a couple of years. On the reverse, who knows? You know, I think it's a good point. I think there's so much mystery in life. Truly, I don't mean to be philosophical. I just think that there's just so much mystery in love. I mean, in love as well, actually, in life and in love, because there's just so many variables. I think the best you can do is do what makes sense to you, as long as you have rationale for it. I mean, as long as it's reasonable, right? There's a lot of mystery. You're not going to know the answer. You're not necessarily know what the alternative would have been or would be. Jamie said, Russian things, proposing after 3 months. That's just crazy to me. I broke up with the guy for that. Strong Ballerina, time doesn't always hold meaning. Sometimes it's just an arbitrary number based on God only knows what. Sometimes time can save you. Good thoughts. Felicia said, you make some of the most mistakes when you rush a relationship. I did, got pregnant, and the guy left. But it was for the best for me and my daughter. The best thing he gave me was her, and for him, I'm only grateful for that. So, look, I think this is also about perception, perspective, right? So, as Felicia mentioned here, you know, the best thing was her daughter, and that's the mindset that you have. Whereas another person could have said, like, I hate this guy. This guy left me. He left me with the child. I'm a single mom. I hate him for it. Right? So it's a matter of perception, is a matter of how you're going to, what are you going to believe about your given situation. Becky said, I've had men try to rush into things. One wanted me to move in like 3 weeks after we started dating and was pissed that I wouldn't give up apartment. After I said I would stay a bit, I saw it was a red flag. Good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Rushing into things. Let's go to our final point and then we'll bring up our special guest. This one's going to be juicy. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Super juicy. Maybe we save the best for last. Mistake number 6 that women make in a relationship: trying to change your man. Woo! Isn't that a thing? Let me read it to you, what's been said to me. This is a huge one. Trying to change your man. If he wants to change, he will. But if not, you need to accept him for his flaws and for who he is. Nobody is perfect. And I'm not talking about big deal breaker things. This is about small habits, like if she wished he would cook or like certain types of movies, or if he isn't affectionate in public, just stuff like that. Whew. Whew. this is like a huge topic. I know we talked about that for sure as well. And I'm trying to remember if we actually had a live show dedicated to this topic, but you see this and you hear that, actually, not so much see it, but you hear people, women, talk about that even indirectly. If you read between the lines, you can't pick out this type of approach. A lot of women say, well, I thought that he would change. Some of you probably, man, oh man. You probably heard that before, right? Did you say that before? Did you say it yourself before? If you're willing to share, give me hashtag I did in the comments. If you ever said, well, I thought he would change. If you said that, or if you thought that thought, maybe wording not exactly the same, but if you thought that, if you thought how I could change this man, or the fact that this man most likely would change, so I will take chance on him. If you thought that, give me hashtag I did, because I certainly heard that before. And when anyone, if you even allow yourself to think that way, if you're even going to allow yourself to have those thoughts, you already losing, honey. You already losing. Because it's not your job to change your man. Man isn't, any man isn't a product or service that you can just tweak. It's another human being with his own goals, with his own desires, with his own passions, with his own beliefs, with his own reasons. So, what makes you think that you can change him? This is not a guilt trip. This is just real talk. I don't even think remotely anymore that if this woman that I'm going on a date with right now, or I'm seeing right now, can be changed. I think it's ludicrous. I think it's ludicrous. The question, the one relevant question that I believe women should be asking themselves is this man good enough for me the way he is right now? I think you're better off assuming that this man is never going to change. Because if you can assume that, and if you can say, yes, I still would like to be with this man, then you won. However, if you can't say yes to the question, can I assume that this man is never going to change? Then don't even bother. Then at that point, I would assume that this man will not change. Yes, I'm talking the worst case scenario, because that's what happens in life a lot of times. So if you're okay with the worst case scenario, you surely will be okay with the good case scenario, or with the best case scenario. You have to operate from in this particular case, you better off operating from the standpoint of the worst case scenario, because the worst case scenario is the most realistic scenario in this case. People don't change for the sake of others. People change for themselves. Now, it's not to say that you can't influence someone to evolve. I think some of the best wives are absolutely some of the most influential people on the planet, but they don't, I don't believe that they go into marriage with the sole goal of changing their man. I think their man you end up changing because of combination of things that happens within that marriage, because of how this woman treats him, because how this woman behaves, because how this woman, you know, what this woman does within the family, because this woman is maybe a better person than he is in a lot of instances. And when you see somebody's behavior who is a better person, you're going to pick up on that behavior. If you're a reasonable person and you're going to be around a high quality human being who is going to demonstrate, who's going to lead by example, right? When I say lead by example, meaning that your behavior is going to speak louder than words, your action is going to speak louder than words. People come along usually in those type of instances because you elevating them. You are so good at something. You are so good socially. You're so good, maybe spiritually. Maybe you're so good emotionally that you elevate your significant other to your level. That's the way to do it. You can only change someone, I think, by inspiring them, right? Inspiring them to reach further that they can be. You don't like Kevin Samuels using FBI acronym for women. Feminine, beautiful, inspirational. Inspirational is a big factor. If you're inspirational as a woman, if you can inspire a man, and look, and you don't have to like Kevin Samuels. That's not the point. Let's not get distracted here, because I think wisdom can be extracted from different sources. Wisdom is wisdom doesn't choose sides. Wisdom is wisdom. So even if you believe that one thing, right, in this acronym, that women should be inspirational, then what does it mean? How can a woman be inspirational to a man? I think she can be by being the best version of herself, by being sometimes better, right? Emotionally, socially, personally, right? By being that person who men can look up to. And listen, I'm not suggesting that women should be just a leader in a relationship and pull all the weight in the relationship. No, 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 no. I think it's a game of give and take, 100%. I think if you have a man who is just dead weight, I'm not suggesting that you should just continue to inspire for years to come and your man does not, man does not react. No, no, no. Don't take it out of context. Men got to do their part, but there's going to be naturally some things that you're going to be better at that he is. Hopefully, he will bring something to the table, and then you will bring something to the table. But if you can consistently inspire your man, I mean, just listen to the word. If you can consistently inspire your man, this is not just situational thing. You're making a conscious choice to be that person. There's a certain value. There's a lot of value that you will bring into this man's life because you inspiring him to be something. I mean, that's powerful. I think that's powerful. So I went on the rant. Put the hashtag rant, RP rant, or just rant, RP Russian prototype, in case you don't know. Went on a rant here, but this is important. The bottom line is this: how can you change your man? Not by trying to change your man, but by being the inspirational woman that you can be, by being the best version of a woman that you can be yourself. Then you're going to change your man. Mic drop. And I'm not going to drop this mic. What more can I say? Let's look at the comments, and then we're going to bring Felicia so she can tell us some interesting stuff about her take. Oh, so many comments. I appreciate you. I appreciate you engaging. Let's go through it. Gody Gal said he has to want to change. Linda said the classic mistake on both sides. Jamie said, don't ever go into a relationship with the renovation in mind. Perfect. Love it. Renovation. No renovation in here. Gody Gal, no one is perfect. You have to find the perfect one for you. God will hunting. Goodwill hunting. Let's see. Gody Gale again. Every woman has at one time thought she could save a man from himself, and men have damsel in distress issues too. Felicia said, my child's sperm donor. I did. Hashtag I did. Becky said, trying to change a man will never work. All you can do is learn to live with his fault in flows or find someone else. Deep, 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 deep. Men only change out of fear. Really? You really think so? Out of fear? Give me an example. What kind of fear? Of fear that woman leaves him? Linda, and here's where I extra F up. I didn't overly try to change him. I thought he would change on his own by living with me, my example. Thank you for sharing. Strong ballerina. Yuri, I think when a man misrepresents himself, women think about change. I'm afraid to date a man from Wisconsin because of that person. Gody Gale, date a Gemini. They always change. Hold on. Tell me your sign again. Gemini. That date is over. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. Estrella, changing oneself is already a challenge. Now asking a man to change. Yes. So imagine changing yourself and doing some of the things to improve yourself. That's already a lot to ask for, right? And then what happens also when you ask somebody to change, what they're going to do, they're probably going to pick on your flows, right? This is just isn't. They say, Gandhi said, be the change that you want to be the change you want to see in the world. So you have to become the change first in order to affect other people to change. Philosophical, makes sense. Strong ballerina. That's such a great question. However, sometimes don't come out until later. Linda said, but I've gotten smaller and now figure if I don't like him as is, smarter, sorry. Um, Linda said, but I've gotten smarter and now figure if I don't like him as is, then I know he's not for me. Things I don't like are red flags, not a fixer upper. Becky said, when I say fear, I'm thinking along the lines of if his diet sucks, he would be open to change after he's had his first heart attack or finds he has diabetes. Hmm. Dang, those are deep. Those are deep reasons. Um, mm, mm, mm. Trying to see if there's other comments. Heather with another super sticker. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. You're on fire today. It's a second one today. Thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate it. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gori Gal. Fear of her being appreciated by other men when he has not appreciated her. Tara is in the house. Hi, Tara. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Tara said, my mistake was that I trusted him and left college for him because of his potential. I knew I couldn't change him. Oof, this one is, yeah, that one is tough. This one is tough. Again, I think like we talk about life, we talk about choices. Like at the end of the day, we don't know how things going to work out. So in the moment, we can only make the best decision that we can make. And I think sometimes the way I look at regret is like if I know at the moment I'm making the wrong decision, I can justify regret. But if in the moment I truly think that I'm making the right decision, then the regret has no place because I can only make the best decision I can at the time. I cannot think differently or have different knowledge at the time. At least that makes sense to me. So Tara said, I knew I couldn't change him, but he changed himself for me without my knowledge. When we got married, the very night he was completely different. I stayed because I thought it was because I wasn't good enough. So when you said when you got married, the very night he was completely different, like in a bad way. I'm assuming in a bad way, Tara, because you're saying I stayed because I thought it wasn't because I wasn't good enough. Interesting. When a man is insecure, he's not healthy indefinitely. That is a place where I notice women fall. They see insecure, and because we have tough standards, we have empathy. But when we stay with an insecure man, I think that can be detrimental. I think there's some that you all know some you onto something here. Insecurity is a big thing, and it could be hidden, so it's not necessarily always meets the eye. Heather, I'm on the roll. Yes, you are. You're on an incredible role. I appreciate your support very much. It means the world to me. Um, by the way, I want to make a quick announcement about that. I appreciate Heather today with 2 donations, with 2 super chats, super stickers. Kaya made a super chat, a super sticker. Wanted to make sure that this community knows that every dollar I receive from your support will be put back into this channel to improve videos for new equipment, for new ideas, in order to provide a better experience for the Prototypes family. So I just want to make sure you know how to support the channel. You can do it live, just like Heather did. There's a $ underneath the chat that you can donate through. There's also, if you look on top of the screen where you see support, just above over my head, support paypal.me at Russian Prototype. You can support the channel that way. With PayPal, there's a smaller fee that they collect. With YouTube, there's a bigger fee that they collect when you do it live. But I just wanted to make sure that you know that every penny, every cent that I receive will be put back in the channel. So thank you all so very much. Again, shout out one more time to Heather for making this super sticker and supporting the channel. Thank you so very much. Strong Ballerina said, it's even more complicated with long distance relationship. Oh, look, I got that abbreviation correctly. Hey, now I know what LDR is. Strong Ballerina would just put things in the chat sometimes, abbreviations, and I did not know what that meant. Heather said, dating based on potential is a good topic. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm going to screenshot that too. There could be a lot of stuff that we talk about within that. A lot of stuff. Looks like Tara is in the greens. Linda said, an insecure man will dissolve your soul like a body in acid. Oof. Dissolve. Let me try to find the right voice for this statement. I need some water before I do this. I'm not doing this justice. All right, here we go. An insecure man will dissolve your soul like a body in acid. Is it better? I think this will do. That took a lot of energy out of me. Strong Ballerina, it's even more difficult with long distance relationships. Until you have spent real time together, it's difficult to know who you are really dealing with. Even video dates are a decent start. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my God, Felicia with the super sticker, $10. That's the second donation. You've been on a roll as well. You did super sticker yesterday for $20 and super sticker today for $10. Oh my God, thank you so much. What a huge support it is from you, Felicia, and from Heather. What an amazing community you are. Thank you so much. It means a lot, Felicia. Appreciate the super sticker very, very much. Whew. I'm like beyond grateful right now. It's really surreal. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Felicia. Let's see, what were we? Gaudy Gal said, dating on potential is setting yourself up for failure. I hear that a lot about careers. Set yourself up. Don't wait for a man to provide for you. Dating on potential. Whoa, that's a deep one. But I think I have another example that could be interesting. So maybe we could make this topic. Jamie said, I think women get sucked into dating insecure men with the I can fix him or heal him. I don't. It's a trap. Linda said, dating based on potential should last about 3 dates. And by then, either potential is there or it's not there. And in a perfect world, we will face it, not fix it. I like it. I like it, like it, like it, like it. Good thoughts. I think there's a lot of value in these comments right here. I really do. There's a lot. Jamie said, I think we should send Yuri an abbreviation with the definition once a week. Yeah, I think it will help. That's for sure. These abbreviations. Oof. Sorry, I'm taking class online, so I was doing homework. Appreciate you stopping by. Yuri, do a fun YouTube short video criticizing American actors with bad Russian accents. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. A lot of screenshots tonight. Great ideas. Felicia, by the way, if you want to jump in, go ahead and jump in. We're going to have, we definitely want to hear your thoughts on it before we wrap these things up. But I think it's a good point. I think I went through all the comments. We had a really good discussion. So it's a really, really good point in a live show for you to join so we can take this topic home. Becky said, if a man shows his insecurity or vulnerability to me, I think it's good to trust me with it as long as he don't try to take it out on me. I think it's good to trust me with it as long as he doesn't. Yeah, that's an interesting point. You saying that you actually would be okay with that. You'd be okay seeing that. And you would think that he's trusting you essentially by being vulnerable, right? Which is, it's an interesting thought. It really is. I guess I guess it depends how he shows you insecurity or vulnerability. There are different ways to do that, right? I think there's definitely are different ways to do that. Felicia is very generous. She has blessed me with large donations twice. Yes, she is very generous. She's an incredible supporter. And the fact that you supporting multiple channels as well, and how much you supported me throughout the last, however long, I don't, as long as I set up my PayPal account, you've been supporting me. So huge shout out. Can't state it enough of, your generous soul and your supportive spirit. Jamie Masha said she'd be willing to teach us Russian on Zoom. Here we go. These new connections are being built every day over here, which is amazing. Elvia, thank you so much for joining the stream, for the joining the live show. Have a wonderful night. Tara, I think his mom should have been a red flag because she was like selling him to me, which explains the suckering for potential part. She is a State Farm sales rep. She's a State Farm sales rep and a top producer. That is hilarious, Tara. Oh my God. She sold his son, not literally, but she found a way to do it. Oh my God, that's amazing. And then Heather said, yes, because she had a single word caption that translates into an English phrase. And I thought that was fascinating. She said she could teach me, and I mentioned doing Zoom with you. She liked it. That's awesome. Gori Gal, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts and hanging out. All right, she's here. Let's go ahead and bring her on. A woman who does not need introduction. Felicia.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for your amazing support, first of all.
Oh, no problem.
So, I know you sent me something in the direct message regarding your take on the topic, but since you are here, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to let you talk about it. So the question is, and I think you have some really good thoughts, so I'm really curious to hear your take on it. What are the common mistakes that women make in a relationship? The floor is
Okay.
yours.
All right. I think The one thing that I did say, we are extremely clingy. We like to cling on things that we adore the most. And that can range from anything, relationships, kids, going to Target, Starbucks. It does not matter what it is. We're clingy like that. And that's just how it is. Um, in retrospects to a relationship, however, especially getting into a new relationship, in the beginning, it's very, a woman will do as much as she can to keep that man, in her life because she's like, this is new. I don't want him to leave and things like that. And then it just gets to a point where it's like
Whoops.
they're always together. And that could be an issue. And it's not necessarily the man, it's the woman who just, hey, let's do this. They're always doing things together. Like she never leaves his side. Like she doesn't have a life outside of him. That's another problem. It's just like we forget the life that we previously had before the man came. And it's just like as soon as that man came, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna forget everything I did before I met him. And that is like the worst mistake anybody can make in their life. You give up your life for somebody else and just forget everything that you've done, hobbies, friends, everybody you've hung out with, because you're with this person. And then that creates a sort of situation where the man will sit up there and like, um, I mean, I love her, but she doesn't want me to go anywhere. Like she's always around and stuff like that. And she only like lives and breathes for me. And like that, that's, that's really, really bad to do. And I mean, but in a way, I guess women are more, nurturers by nature. So it's kind of like, we're naturally clingy. Some are more than most. I had a friend, um, her ex that she was with. I didn't like him. Like I thought he was a piece of shit. I wanted to fight him all the time every time I saw him. But she would always be super, super clean to it. Like every time, like, cause we used to hang out and like do things together, like whether go have lunch or like go work out or whatever. And she would always tell me like, "Oh, I'm hanging with Johnny." Okay, so from now on, anytime I'm on, Johnny and Susie are going to be my two main names of reference. They're made up names because I want to protect the names of the people I'm giving examples of. So Johnny and Susie is what we're going to use. So Johnny came into the picture, and my friend, she was just like, "Oh, so every time we have our like normal little friends brunch, she'll brush it off, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hang out with Johnny." And I was like, "Okay, you can hang out with Johnny." In the beginning, it was okay because that was her new relationship. She wanted to get to know him better. I was like, "Okay, it's cool." Months went on down the line, and it's just like they were like a unit. They were like in unison. They would always move together. When he moved, she moved. And it was just like, dude, I do not like this like kind of robotic relationship. And I talked to her about it. I was like, do you think you like kind of need to give yourself a little space from him? Because it just seems, because you were never like that before until you met him. And she was just like, well, I'm just trying to keep him. He's a nice guy. And I'm just sitting up there like, well, I don't personally like him. So, but that's your relationship. I'm not gonna, not gonna judge. It's your business. I guess you have to learn the hard way because I wouldn't say I'm experienced when it comes to bad relationships. I mean, like can sense out bullshit, but with me pretty much being around like men all day, every day, especially at work, it's
Hmm.
like I'm used to mannerisms. I'm used to like how they act, how they move. So it's just like I be knowing shit before other people be knowing, and I just be sitting up there like, all right, he finna do something stupid. I can see it because I know him. So it got to the point where he would stop like hanging out with her and stuff, and she would just like get so upset. And I was like, oh well, I can't. I can't. She couldn't function when he wasn't around, and I'm like, dude, you gotta get the fuck up. Like, you can't like sit around like Like, let's go hang out like we used to. And like when we would go out and hang out, like she would just be so miserable because she'll be on her phone, like wait for him to text. And I was just like, me being a single person, I'm up here enjoying my life. I'm like, I ain't got nobody to report to. Like, I'm chilling. Okay. And I don't like when people mess up my vibe when I'm chilling. I don't like that because it's just like, it throws everything off. And it's just like, she turned into a person I didn't know at that point because she was so enthralled, enamored with him. And it made me sick because they're just like, she's not the lively, like fun person anymore. Like she turned into like kind of like a servant or something. Like if he said jump, she'll be like, how high? Like it was that bad. Eventually, unfortunately, I mean, he cheated on her. I mean, that's kind of like what set everything in motion with her. She got out of the relationship, but it took her a long time to realize that. She got too clingy and then he got too comfortable. He was just like, I can tell her one thing and she'll believe it because, she thinks that, she worships me. And he felt that way and he took advantage of that. And I hated that for her, but it was kind of like something she had to learn for herself. I couldn't really pull her out. Like, it's not on it's my authority. Like, she's not my kid. So it's just like, I can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna pull you out of this bad relationship. I mean, he wasn't abusive of it in anything, but well, abusive in terms of physically, mentally, probably yes. So it took her a long time to get over that, and I just noticed that about women. A lot of women are like that. Like, you see a guy, you like a guy, and then it's just like you try to do everything to keep the guy around. It's like we try hard too much, and we don't even have to do that. Like the point where it's like you feel like you have to keep doing all this, and like you're not getting that back. You're giving it all, but you're not getting it back in return. That's another bad thing to just do. And it's just like, I don't know. It's naturally for women to do that. I mean, not all women, I can, for one, say I used to be that kind of clingy like girlfriend, but that was like when I was like young, like I was a teenager. Like he couldn't stand that shit. Like he hated like, I always like come to his locker and I would like be standing there and I was just like, he was like, oh, like I bought you some snacks from the lunchroom. And he was just like, what's wrong with her? Like he got so tired of it. And then after a while, just like I started to realize, I'm looking real stupid standing over here by this food locker, bringing his ass some snacks. And he ain't never bring me no damn snacks. Like, what the fuck? Like, I like fruit snacks too. Like, why am I buying him fruit snacks? I'm looking like the stupidest fool right now. I was like, that's when I smarted up. I was like, nope, I'm not about to be sitting up here like, you know, um, yes sir, no sir. I was like, hell no. Like we're gonna be yes sir and no sir and yes ma'am and no ma'am, and it got to be equal. We have to do that. So, but yeah, being clingy is. I wouldn't say our claim to fame, but it kind of is. But there's levels to clingy. Some people are more clingy than others. I mean, it's okay to be clingy. Like I don't mind if a man was clingy towards me. However, me being very pretty independent, I like my time to myself sometimes. I don't mind, I don't mind a man being up under me, but not like all the time. And I'm just like, can you like go away? Like, like
Yeah.
just for a little while. Like, you're cool and all, but we need some space too. We need to be individuals as well. You're a couple, but you also
Right.
need to be individuals as well. And that's another thing too that helps in relationships in general. Remember who you are before you were with that person. And like, yes, you're a couple, but you're also an individual person. Because if something happens to this person, like God forbid something happens to them and they're incapacitated or like they pass away or something like that. You're an individual again. And it's just like if you've been so lenient on that one person and it's just like something happens, like they leave you or something like that, and it's just like, oh shit, I'm by myself. What am I gonna do now? Because I've been so attached to this person for so long. It's just like I don't know how to function without them. And I mean, it's just a learning experience. Like I said, women are, we tend to do that. It's nothing wrong with it, but it can become a problem and it can like scare men away. And a lot of men take advantage of a woman like that. So I think being clingy is kind of not the way to go most of the time. A little clinginess is fine, but when you oversaturate it, yes, it becomes a problem.
I think I think like you said a lot of good things, you know. We got to be able to recognize these signs, and I think I voiced my opinion on the matter how w- that in the perfect world you would date someone because you want them to be in your life, not because you need them to be in your life.
Right.
In the perfect world, you would be an individual and you would want to have somebody by your side who would add to your life, not to become your life.
Exactly.
To your point, right? So like, because if somebody is your life and you don't have anything going for yourself, you're going to be clingy. Might be the least of your concerns. You may
Right.
be possessive, you may be overbearing, you may be a lot of different things that would be just inherently bad,
Oh yeah.
you know so like, you actually dug a lot deeper than just the surface problem, like, because the question becomes, why are you clingy? And if the answer to this question is because you don't have your own um, life, like if you're not an independent person, and if you're not a personality, don't have your own personality, your own independent judgment, then you can make somebody's life miserable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's cool. Like even what I said to my friend, and that was like back like early college days. I was like maybe like 19. So I was like young and dumb back then. And, I was just trying to have fun and stuff like that. And like she wanted this relationship thing. And I think I talked about this before. Like that was back when I was just like, okay, I don't want a relationship. We could have relations, but I don't want a relationship. And then just like we can have relations, and then you come talking to me about like, oh, let's go on a date. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to date you.
Hmm.
Like, I call you like every like couple months, and we're having a little appointment, and then that's it. And I'll talk to you again in another 2 to 3 months. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. And then when she got in her little relationship, and it was kind of like, oh, okay, you're in a relationship, and I'm like, all right, I'm enjoying my life. And then it was rough, man. And then like even like when I tried to get her back into her old self, because I can admit like I was kind of like a little bit of a pothead back then. So it was one instance she was just like, I guess he was supposed to come over and like they were gonna watch. What are they gonna watch? They're gonna watch Twilight. They're gonna do the Twilight marathon. I was like, girl, let's get high and we can watch it together. Like let's just smoke some weed and we can watch it together and like order like Domino's or something. Like like and like she didn't want to do that with me. And I felt a type of way because I was like I felt like he was taking advantage of that. I'm like, that's my best friend. Like we usually get high on the weekends, and like he taking it away from me. Like who was gonna be my high buddy now? He took her away from me. Oh my god. I was a
Oh
little
man.
upset. I felt like the third wheel in that relationship. But but yeah, that clingy mess, man. That's a that's a hard thing to. I mean, and it can go both ways. Women tend to do it a lot more than men. I mean, men can do it now. I've been with one, but women is a little bit more, and that's where another thing comes in being overly emotional about stuff, where it's just like
Yeah.
you let your emotional cup just runneth over like all the time. It's like one little thing you said, like you could say something. Johnny can say something to Susie, and you know, Johnny's having a wonderful day, and then let's just say Johnny and Susie are out at the grocery store. Johnny speaks to some lady, a cashier or something. Just, she asks him a question, like a simple question. He's just like, do you know so and so? And like they might have like a little small friendly conversation, nothing major. Susie sitting up here and having a fucking wreck. It's just like her mind's racing. It's just like, oh my God, they get to the car and just like, so who was that? And Johnny's like who? Like the cashier? Like she just asked me a question. She's like, well, you guys were pretty friendly back there. What did you guys talk about? Like, do you know her? And it's just like some women, they take something that they see, especially the ones that have trust issues. They take something that they see and they run with it. It's way more. It's way more. And it's just like their mind can't stop what they're saying. It's like their mind is just like, okay, you just gotta attack, 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 attack. You know, I'm hitting the X button on the PlayStation, like playing Call of Duty. I'm shooting, 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 shooting in the game, and I'm
Mhm.
not doing nothing else. Like no defense. Like I'm not reloading. I'm just shooting, just like an idiot. I'm just shooting but I'm not. I'm not looking at the missions. I'm not looking at my team online. Like, and they're like yelling at me on the headset, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And like that's literally what she's doing. She's shooting. She's shooting. She's not. She done forgot everything that just happened, and it's just some women, especially if like they're emotionally damaged, they can see a situation with a man and it just like they go from 0 to 100 real quick, and that'll scare the shit out of a man. That'll make a man like kind of hate your ass. To be honest, like you're starting up drama when there is none.
You know, as you were talking, it just made me think of something because you were, alluding to the point how some of these things happen when you were younger, and you now more aware of those things
Yeah,
than you were in the past. And it just makes me wonder, like, what else we don't know, what else we don't see, what else we don't understand about relationships, about ourselves, how we perceive things. And I think it's a good question to ask, like, and I'm not only asking addressing it to women. I would like to address it to both genders. Is like, how much are you willing to learn? Are you willing to learn? Are people open to accept the fact that they have a long way to go, right? Potentially. Or
yeah,
how much are you willing to reinvent yourself? Maybe even a better question, right? Because I think we all trying to figure it out. Like, I think somebody who tell you that they know everything, they probably be lying, because it's ever evolving type of knowledge that we're getting over ever evolving culture, how we communicate with each other. Like, what matters to one person might not matter for to another person. But I think, like, the question that I wanted to ask to pretty much everyone, like, are you willing to reinvent yourself and continue to evolve in your relationship and in your personal development? Because I think that's important. I think it's a relevant question. um because, to your point, like, you now aware of things that you weren't before. And I don't think it's
mhm,
just age. I think there's a certain mindset that comes with it, to where you are willing to look at it from a different perspective and say, like, I didn't do as good as I could have done, or that was silly, back then. And so I think it comes with some self-reflection and some openness to be able to even say that.
yeah. I mean, you gotta live your life and like live through experience. You either gotta learn from your like past mistakes or keep living in them and keep making the same damn mistakes. It's just, you know, you choose to do what you want with your life. You know, I take everything as a learning thing. I don't have regrets. I mean, because why? I mean, they happen, and you learn from them. You move past it. That's basically how I live my life. Like even with the situation with my kid's father and stuff like that. Like that didn't work out. I don't hate him. I don't
Yeah.
like I don't like the dude, but I don't hate him. Um, and like I said, like he's the other main reason why I have my daughter. So I can't hate somebody that, is a part of her. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think think I've grown up a lot over the past few years, so I kind of like look at things in a more. A lot of people call me like an old soul because they think I have wisdom. It's like, no, I don't. I just, just recognize like shit I did and just know that I got to do better because I have a child to raise. Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, that's just basically it. It's either you want better for your life or you don't. That's how I look at it.
Say this one more time.
So like either you want better for your life or you don't.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah. 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 There's a lot. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it because if the answer is yes, if you want better for your life, then what are you willing to do? Like, are you willing to internalize a lot of things that happen to you, or are you willing to look for, like, to develop yourself through other experiences, through just professional development, whatever it may be, like there's
Yeah,
some real there's real knowledge to be acquired. And I find it fascinating. I find fascinating, like, the decision making that people go through, and how some people end up becoming better version of themselves, because that's,
yeah,
at the end of the day, that's all we can do. Like, I don't know what's going to happen 5 years from now. I might drop dead in 1 year. I might
that's
drop
true.
dead in 1 month. Like, how do we don't know? But, like, I think there's something about making intentional choice, like, to say, you know what, I'm gonna do what I can in this area, in that area, in this area, and I'm gonna try to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. And that means sacrifice. Like, it's not easy to go for a walk sometimes, but you got to. It's not easy sometimes to read something that will make you think, because it's easier not to think. It's easier just to sit and, watch some Netflix show to the just and then pass out to sleep, right?
Yeah,
It's easy to listen to your opinions and not considering other people's opinion, because what if somebody else's opinion will change your opinion?
right. That's true.
There's a lot. But, I also think, it's not to go against yourself with those things. It's I think you allowing yourself to just grow as a person and become a better version of yourself.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, that's a grown folks type of conversation. A lot of people don't like having that conversation. So a lot of people tend to grow up faster than others. Let's just say. So a lot of people still stuck in that little childish bullshit phase, and then like a lot of people still are, and they're like older than me. So it's just like, oh well, they'll get it eventually. Maybe not now. Maybe when they 70. It's okay. It takes time for some people.
It does. It does. I love this. I love this. This is good stuff. Any closing thoughts about this topic? Anything that you want to say to kind of put a boat um, on it?
Like I said, just especially like clingy. I really want to get back on that. It's just like it's okay to be clingy. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but there are levels. There is the amount of it. No man wants their woman to be all up under them 24/7, and it's vice versa. Like unless y'all both two clingy ass people, y'all can have clingy ass relationship, clingy ass kids. All y'all can just cling together for the rest of y'all lives. That's fine, but everybody's not like that. Um, it's just you got to learn how to live your life outside of that. Like even as a parent, you have to learn it too. Yeah, you go when you have babies, like they depend on you for everything. They are your life. Okay. I have an 11-year-old now. She's having her own life outside of me, which is weird and
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's not, I don't have this little kid that wants to sit down and watch, Coco Melon or Paw Patrol anymore. We don't do that now. We like sit up and watch anime. Like that's our shit. Nobody's taking that from me and her. But I have a little young lady now, so like she has her own friends, and I have to understand that she's gonna have a life outside of me, and I have to learn how, being her mom, that I have to have a life. I'm still her mom, but I also have a life outside of her too.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still mom, but I'm also still Felicia, and I still have other things to do in my
Yeah.
life other than tell her, or because I think I did a great. I want to pat myself. I don't want to. Well, I guess I can pat myself on the back because I did raise a pretty good kid. I mean, she ain't out here.
Your job is not over yet.
Oh no, it's not. It's continuous. And my mom knows that because it's still. She still be trying to tell me what to do, and I'm like 33 years old. I'll be like, nah. I'll be like, nah. But I be hearing what she be saying because she be telling. She be right most of the time. But
Yeah.
it's different as an adult. But yeah, a parent's job is never done.
Yeah. It's the biggest responsibility in the world, but it could be very rewarding, I heard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You might not see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel right away, but you have to stick with it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
And I did have, because I did go to my kids. She had a parent teacher conference today, and we got like her progress report, which she got straight A's, which I'm extremely proud of. And like she told me today, we were just sitting at the table. She was like, "Yeah," she was like, "I think I want to be an engineer like you." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna cry so hard! Oh my god, oh my
That's
god!"
amazing.
Because I was just like, "You wanted to be like a YouTube creator ever since you like came out the womb." Like literally, you want to like, I want to do YouTube. I want to do YouTube. I want to be a gamer. I want to be a gamer. And then it's like the first time she said like, "Oh, I think I want to do engineering." I'm like, "Oh,
She can be a YouTube engineer.
yeah." She can be a software engineer, and
You
and
know.
she can be. I mean, it's the same thing. Just
Yeah.
different little field.
You know what's really crazy? Like, it is now here. Like, the people who play video games online, obviously creators on YouTube, people make careers with that. It's no longer just a fantasy. Like, it's a
No,
real thing, right? And a lot of young people, like, who are now 10, 12, teenagers, right? They're going to um they're really going to be like leaders in these fields. They're going to make living with that. They're going to experience a completely different life that some of our previous generations couldn't even dream of, just because of how internet allows people to do things with content and creation and everything like that.
yeah, that's true. And like even with like, I remember like when you had your channel, and like you had like a couple little videos on there, and I like looked. I was like, never did I like really think that it would get to a point where like it is now, because like like you've come from like humble beginnings. It was just like, okay, well these are cool videos. I'm just looking at them for reference. And then like later on, like even into like this year when you started the live streams and stuff like that, and like till now, like it's just become so just refreshing and grateful. And like you're like one of the creators that you can tell that you actually give a shit about the community. Like a lot of people just do it for the money and attention and just recognition.
Hmm.
So like, I'm on YouTube and I'm making like all this money and stuff like that, but like you actually give a shit about the community, and that's like the most important thing you can even do. It's like it's not about like a whole bunch of likes. It's not about like how many followers. Like you generally care about everybody, and that is like wonderful.
It's so interesting because I think I went through a stage where I was caring about the views and likes and stuff like that. But I think it's gotten to a point where it's like the human connection became a lot more valuable. because that's something that you can't really fake. um some of the conversations, some of the comments that I've read like underneath the videos, and obviously now with live streams, what people like sharing in real time
Yeah.
is like, whoa, like it's just, it made me realize a lot of things about experiences that are hidden, like, because I think sometimes it's easy to default to your thinking about something, but then somebody said like, well, I've had this in my childhood, or that happened to me, and it's like unless they said that, I would have never thought that, and that would never cross my mind, but I can see how it shaped somebody else's life. So I think it's just some powerful points of not just connection, which connection are huge, but also points of knowledge that kind of emerged as a result of the channel. Because I think people kind of teach each other. People told me like that they can go through some circumstances that you know you never really aware of beforehand unless you talk to them,
Yeah,
and it can
that's completely
legitimately
true.
like shape somebody's life.
Yeah, and like the fact that you've helped a lot of people than you know, like that's that's saying something. Like it's just like it doesn't even feel like even like then when I subscribed to you and I was like never would I have thought like okay, yeah, I'll be like a big supporter of him and stuff like that, and like never did I think like I'm not gonna meet this dude, like he's a stranger on the internet, like I'm not gonna meet him, like no, like, and then like lo and behold, like opportunity happens. So and it's just crazy how everything has like kind of come full circle for you. So that's like pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is amazing. But I think, like your favorite coach says, it's about process. And not to bring it up, Nick Saban, which I think Nick Saban undoubtedly in our era, he's the greatest coach.
Oh
But
yeah.
what makes him great, I think what makes him great, and it's like, again, not to use football references, but it's his thing. He talks about process a lot. And like, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about what that really means, because I think a lot of people do things for outcomes. Like, I think we're wired to think that way as human beings. We want outcome and we're driven by outcome. But there's no outcome without process. And
Yep.
the ultimate question is, how can you do something that is meaningful to you, or hopefully that you love enough to where the process is the answer, not the
Mhm.
outcome. Because ultimately, like, we talked about it, I think, in some of the live shows in the past, is that we have a relationship goals, or we have these personal goals that we strive for, and we're kind of like putting life on hold, right? And it's like, I'm trying to get to a place where my life is filled with my process, and that process is like satisfying me. you know it gives me wings. I'm looking forward to doing this, not because I'm going to get like paycheck, right? Don't get me wrong, like, I want to I have my dreams and aspirations, and I want to accomplish certain things, but how can I have the foundation that I can do every day that feels like I already made it, you know
Mhm.
because I'm doing this. And YouTube, I think, in being a content creator, it became that, and I never thought that it would. you know
Yeah.
and it also changed a lot from comparing it from a beginning, from being creating videos versus really focusing on live shows, going hard on live shows. It also changed. So it's like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of things that happened within the 1 year that I would never imagine. So it makes
Yeah.
me think, like, what's going to happen in another year?
Exactly.
What's going to happen in 2 years? Because I think what's also important, like, anybody who considers to create anything, I think that it it's like, if you only going to go for an immediate gratification, if you're only going to pursue an immediate goal of some sort, it's like, it's, you can in a way take away opportunity from yourself to see what could happen or what you can become. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to actually commit to something when you already have full-time job. It's very difficult to commit something that you have no idea how it's going to turn out. This, even though this channel has some success, there are no guarantees. There's no guarantees that it's ever going to reach 10K. There's no guarantees that this channel is going to like turn into like a business. There's no guarantees. Like, there's a lot of things that just out of my control. It has to do with whether or not like people will find this useful and valuable, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's something about, it's something interesting and very fascinating about finding something that drives you as a creator or as an artist, and just continue to do that for the sake of doing that, not because
Yeah.
of result, but doing that. Like, like that is what sets you free, like whatever. So my message to all of the Prototype fam and everybody who's watching is like, find that, find whatever that is that gives you that feeling. And if you want to enjoy it as a hobby, enjoy it as a hobby. If you want to try to create something based on that, create something. If you want to pursue it as a business, pursue it as a business. I think there are many ways to go about it, but what is that thing? What is that thing for you? Not like you in particular as a person, just for everybody who's watching. Like, what is that thing? You know? And it just seems to me that like it's worth exploring that, because
Yeah.
that that gives life some sort of meaning.
Hmm.
This is crazy, It gives life some sort of meaning, a different meaning. It's not just like going to a job that's just there to pay bills. It's just something that you look forward to for whatever reason.
Yeah. And it's like the aspiration of doing something that you love to do. And like you're not, because a lot of people can't say that. Like they're doing that right now. Me, I mean, I like my job sometimes. Um, but do I want to, is that like fulfilling my life? Does that, I want to do that like until I like retire? No. There's other things that I would like to do. It's just, with circumstances of me having a child and raising by myself, priorities come first. But,
Yeah.
I'm in a better position now to kind of start doing other things. So, you know, and it's just that too a part of life, like not like living in a routine and like actually being able to do what you want to do in life. Like that's also pretty like inspirational because, as I guess like as a human species, you kind of like go by the, I guess the human timeline. You're born, you go to school, you go to college, you meet somebody, marry them, have kids, get a job, you work till you retire, and then you die. Like, who wants to live that type of life? I don't. Like, I want to do other things and, see things, like travel, do whatever. So, yeah, and I think that's important. Like, if you got something that you love, like do it. And a lot of people that with Heather and then like with Jamie, with cooking, Heather with being an artist and stuff like that. And then I told Heather too because Heather is a great inspiration, especially for a lot of like young women, like Black
Oh yeah.
women. Yeah, it's not a lot of artists, like Black women artists that my daughter can do that, and she can draw too. So
Yeah.
it's good to like actually know a woman that can draw and like can be an inspiration to my daughter. Like so she can see
Yeah.
because like her mom can't draw worth a shit. Okay. I have nice handwriting. I
Right.
can sign my name good, but I can't draw shit. Okay. When I draw a circle, comes out as a square. That's how bad I draw. Okay. I don't have the creative gene. I have the math gene. I guess I'm good with numbers and I'm great with math. But drawing, no. So it's awesome to see people that have these. And I hate when people don't like pursue their talents. And it's just like, man, you were born with like, you're lucky. Not everybody can do that. Like, I can't sing. I'm not Beyonce. I don't have that. I guess just
Hmm.
being smart is my thing. So, and fixing cars, like that's my claim to fame. I mean, it's good, but it's good to see people do like what they like were born to do. They may not instantly get like the gratification or like just fame or whatever, but the fact that they are doing it, that's more than any like amount of money you make from it or anything. Like the fact that you're doing what you love doing, and you find the passion and the love for doing it. That's important because people are like doing a lot of shit for the wrong things. They just mainly do it for the money, and you know you don't you don't it's not genuine like that. I can watch creators and like they sit and talk and then just like you can tell when it's just like they're disengaged, they don't really engage with the audience, and it's just like it's very bland.
You know, when you start sharing your gift with the world, you're going to impact someone. And we really truly don't know to what extent we can impact someone until we can start sharing our gifts with the world. And, I think that that's something that you can think of it as if something you owe to the world. You own, you
Oh,
OWE.
oh.
I hate these words too. Own. It's like it sounds so like foreign. Or like sounds like a ow. Oh,
It's
you know.
foreign to you. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there's like a book of there's a quote in it might be a Russian book that I heard that quote. What you can, you must. It's something along those lines.
Mhm.
So some of the talents that you have and that you can pass along to others, share it. You must, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's powerful.
Yeah.
This was cool. This was a good convo. I know we went deep, talk about creation and meaning and all that, but it's always a fun time.
Yes,
Thank
it
you for
is.
jumping on. I appreciate you, and I always amazed by your support and appreciate your support very very much. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I'll be seeing you soon. I'm sure we talk because I know that talk about football gets real.
Oh yeah, I got my
So
crimson on, roll tides, all the prototypes.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it'll
roll
be a good
tide.
game.
Yeah, it will be a
Yeah,
great game.
Go Gators all day.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, this is one thing that we disagree on, which is okay, which is
I
fun.
mean, it's fine.
Yeah, but hey, thank you for jumping on, and have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon.
Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye, Felicia. Oh goodness gracious, how much fun was that? It's always great to connect with Felicia. Uh, this went on for over 3 hours. Goodness. Uh, there'll be no voting tonight. Let me just announce a couple things. Thank you for those of you who are still sticking around. I am going to um, go ahead and just announce tomorrow's topic before we get out of here. So tomorrow's topic will be 4 ways to share sexy fantasies with your man. Okay. Uh, so this is Becky's suggestion. So she sent me an article, and I haven't even looked at the article. So you know what? I'm just going to go on the limb. I'm just going to do it, and then I'm sure that even if article is whatever it may be, we'll still have a discussion. It's just kind of interesting. 4 ways to share sexy fantasies with your man. Um, why not? Why not do it? This is what we're going to do tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I think all of you at this point join the newsletter, mylovemanual.com. My plan is to resume. I keep talking about it. I already have the next blog and newsletter ready. I just need to send it out. So tomorrow I'm really going to have to be, you know, more stir on time. I know I keep saying that all the time, and every single time it seems like when I start reading comments, I'm gonna figure it out. That's part of becoming, a live show's content creator. Part of the process. So let me go ahead and um, what's the word I'm looking for? Recognize. Let me go ahead and recognize some fantastic prototypes fam, hashtag prototypes fam community that hang out with us tonight. Strong Ballerina was here. Jamie was here tonight. Heather was here tonight. Felicia was here tonight as a live guest and is in the audience engaging through the comments. Becky was here tonight. Linda was here tonight. I think Cheyenne was here momentarily. I'm not sure if you're still here or not. Let's see who else. There's a lot of people who went to sleep or went and did something else, depending. I don't know. Like, we have international communities, so some folks in different states, some folks in different countries, so the time difference is real. Tara was here tonight as well, sharing her perspectives. There are a lot of people here tonight, so I can continue on. I know Elvia was here earlier tonight. Also want to give a special shout out once again to Felicia for her channel support. That very much appreciated. Want to give a special shout out to Heather for her channel support. It's very much appreciated. It's really amazing. It's really amazing to see this amazing support. Godi Gal was here earlier. So thank you. Thank you for every single one of you to hang out. I love this hashtags, prototypes, fam. This is a lot of fun. Have a good night, every single one of you. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to talk about this enticing topic: 4 ways to share sexy fantasies with your man. You better have some points ready. How are you going to share your sexy fantasies with your man? Think about that. I'm going to have some good time tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, hump day tomorrow. We're not always, we're almost halfway through the week. Tomorrow we will be. And we're going to reunite and have another awesome, awesome live show. Until then, my friends, have a wonderful night. Prototypes fam, keep that hashtag. I'm out.